Hello BookTube. Today I'm going to be doing the World Book Day tag. It was created by Steve Donahue and I will leave a link to his original video down below. Now obviously this tag is a few days late. World Book Day was, I'm thinking, last Thursday? And I did film a version of this video or tag Friday, but I didn't particularly care for it too much, so I just scrapped it, and hopefully this video will be better. So let's get on to the prompts. Oh no, wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Prompt number 1. What country do you currently call home? Is it the same country where you were born? I live in the United States, in the state of Texas, and I was born in the state of Texas. And in fact, all things considered, I really haven't moved a whole lot from where I was born. Maybe a few miles. So yeah, I've pretty much been in Texas my whole life, and in the McLennan County area for the vast chunk of it. I moved to near Galveston about a year from 8th grade to 9th grade, and then I moved obviously to Austin for college, and then I was briefly in San Francisco for a few months. But otherwise, I've mostly stayed in this part of Texas. So, question number 2, or prompt number 2. How many countries have you visited? Did you buy books there? Unfortunately, I've never traveled outside of the country. I would love to, but I do have a bit of anxiety when doing these big moves and travel and stuff, that I kind of get stressed out and have high levels of anxiety, even though when I actually get around to doing it, I'm perfectly fine. I'm weird. And since I've never traveled outside of the United States, I've never physically bought books outside of the country. I mean, I have bought some books from Book Depository, which is a British-based bookseller. So, I mean, I've bought books from them, but actually going into a bookstore in, say, Canada or Britain or wherever, no. Prompt number 3. How well is the world represented in your personal book collection? At the moment, the vast majority of my book collection is science fiction and fantasy. And American writers represent a vast majority of science fiction and fantasy writers. So American writers really represent the bulk of what I have. There are numerous British writers, though. There are some Canadian, some Australian. There are a few other nationalities represented, but it is by far mostly American. Question number 4, or prompt number 4. How many works in translation do you currently have, not including canon? Now, this is kind of a weird one because, I mean, what exactly is meant by canon? I'm counting, for me, I'm generally counting it in the sense that Steve Donahue did, that Penguin Classics or other such publisher kind of designation for classics or canon don't count. So, say for example, Homer, Hesiod, Crétin de Troyes, I'm not counting them. So, setting them aside, I have 19 works in translation. Mostly, about half of them are Japanese and Chinese. I have several novels by Yasunari Kawabata and a short story collection by Yukio Mishima. And I have 5 novels by Jin Yang and 1 novel by Gulong. So that's about the bulk of, about half of the translations. And then I have 2 German books, 1 Italian, 1 Polish, and I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting 1, but that's pretty much all the works in translation. And to be honest, revisiting 3 and 4, the prompts, I do want to add greater international representation in what I have, as I go along and add more books. Prompt number 5. Tell us some weird facts about your country. To echo what Brian of Bookish said in his video this morning, the president. Any other weird facts about the United States? Although that said, it's not like he is without precedent. I mean, if you look at a lot of state governors, there have been quite a few who, are rather Trumpian, I guess you could say. Texas has had at least one, Paul Ferguson, and arguably his wife would probably count too. There was Huey Long in Louisiana, so yeah. But let me see here. Is there anything else that's weird about the United States or Texas, for that matter? Well, one thing I thought was weird reading Big Wonderful Thing was the fact that the first presidential abodes in Texas were practically log cabins. It was actually like a rented room. I thought that was interesting. Okay. Prompt number 6. Is there a work of world literature on your TBR? Well, I actually finished one yesterday. So, I read The Master of Go by Yasunari Kawabata last night. Aside from that, I'm going to be joining in on the Chunksterama, at least for May, with Steve Donahue and David Murphy. So I'll be reading The Lord of the Rings. And I'm thinking I might read the book I will be hauling hopefully on Thursday. Will maybe be on my TBR a little bit sooner. And of course I also have my Reading Around the World project that I need to actually start working on. So anyway, okay, prompt number 7. Tag other booktubers but none from your own country. Well, I think Britta's already been tagged, and Sean. So if you would like to do this tag, whether you're American or you're from around the world and you're interested in doing some tags, consider yourself tagged. Anyway, BookTube, I'm going to sign off now. Thank you and have a great day and stay safe.